Well, good afternoon. I think most people, let me see some hands who have fall as their favorite time of the year. Let me see some hands. Yeah. I mean, you can't ask for a more beautiful day than we have today. And this is such an important event for us. We've waited a long time for this. You all know that the College of Southern Maryland that started in 1958 really has had a long and illustrious career of serving the citizens first of Charles County and then the entire region, although we've served St. Mary's and Calvert for many years before becoming the College of Southern Maryland. And we're really completing a loop here today. Those of you who might remember back in 1968, we had a campus with 3 buildings here as Charles County Community College. The building behind you, the administration building, BU building, our business building, and our career education building, which we are celebrating today in a very positive way. And one by one, these buildings have been renovated. Usually the way we renovate them is we knock them to the ground. We oftentimes move the footprint and we build them from the ground up. But they are renovation projects to us because we retain the name of the building and the tradition continues. As you know, the administration building was completed first, or at least renovated first. And then, was it last year? It seems so long ago, last April. We dedicated our BU building, and now we're going to be getting ready for an extreme makeover, as we put it, of the CE building, and we're really excited about it. I'm going to ask you at the end, if you'd like, to see how big this building is going to be. If you want to walk around the back there, you'll see stakes, and that'll give you a sense of the footprint. It's going to be about 45,000 square feet. In fact, CE building, which was identical to BU, which was identical to CE, this is going to be 4 times the size. No, I'm sorry, double the size, 4 times the current size, and double the size of BU. BU only has 1 wing. This will have 2 wings, and this will serve the college's needs for many, many years. It's going to have 18 additional classrooms. It's going to give us 3 computer labs and 2 conference rooms. It's going to have a number of office space. In fact, one of the orphans, I shouldn't call them orphans, but continuing education is so important to us. And they're scattered all through the campus. We're going to all bring them home and give them some additional space as well to perform their vital work. And today we're going to do it just the way we did BU. And that is, rather than a boring shovel turning, event, we're actually going to knock down walls. So hopefully, if you have some frustration, you can get it out. We've got sledgehammers, we have goggles, we have the construction hats. So come on in and back. In fact, and I'll tell you, you're just going to go around the front of the building and in if you want to do that. Just to mention a few other things before we continue on with the program. The College of Southern Maryland continues to grow. Again, we've exceeded our record. We now have, and let me give you the exact figure, we have 9,273 students enrolled in our credit classes today, this semester. And if you add in our non-credit students throughout the year, you're looking at about another 14,000. In unduplicated headcount credit side, we're looking at over 12, maybe 13,000 students. We're going to be serving over 26,000 individuals at the college. We need this kind of facility to help us to continue to grow, to be able to add new academic programs that our citizens so deeply need. And that's what this college is all about. It's about dreams. It's about the future. It's about making the community better. And we do it by working with every individual and finding out what is it that they need to make their life more successful. And we're there for them. Let's go back to memory lane, if we could, for just a little bit. 1968, when we opened this campus, when we had these three buildings, we had 211 full-time students back then. We had 504 part-time students, an unduplicated head count of 715 students. Compare that to this year, we're getting closer to 10,000 students. So the growth has been tremendous. So much of it, and how many of you have taken classes at this college? Let me see some hands now. Okay, it's hard for me to go anywhere in the community, in the region where I don't run into someone who has benefited from the college in one way or another. And I hear all the accolades about how we've changed lives. But so quality of the education we provide is so critically important. The convenience of being so close to home. But increasingly, it's the cost. And I want to recognize our elected officials in Annapolis, those in our county governmental buildings, for working with us to try to keep tuition as affordable as possible. One of the big problems in our society, and it's getting worse every day, and that's the student loan debt. And I think you've been reading about this. The debt in student loans exceeds that of credit cards. And who would believe anything exceeds credit card debt? But student loans do exceed credit card debt. They're over $1 trillion. And Maryland leads the country in so many wonderful things. There's one thing that it leads, and we are not happy about it, and that is the amount of student debt. The average student, the average citizen who has a debt, it's $33,667. $33,000. That's getting up toward a mortgage. The average for a CSM student, and it's a student who has debt, very few of our students have debt, but that average was under $5,000. And so immediately a student who comes to this college, who benefits from the college in terms of the quality education, the caring employees that we have, will save at least $28,000. If they go to a private college, like our agreement with Johns Hopkins, they can save over $50,000 easily. And so that's what this college is all about. It's about opportunity. And what I'm so excited about today is knowing that all of you are supporting us, but especially I want to thank our commissioners in Charles County and our delegation in Annapolis, because we could not build this building, we could not realize the dreams of our students and our citizens without your support. So I really want to thank you for that, and I'm going to be introducing, I haven't forgotten, all of you in just a little bit. I do want to recognize, well, let me recognize everyone right now, because I will forget. Let's start with our Board of Trustees. We have our board chair, and you're going to be hearing from him in just a second, and that is Joe Austin. And Joe, I'll be introduced, Joe Austin. Oh, yeah. Anybody have a job for me? Joe Slater. Sorry, Joe. Our past board chair, and you know her because she's got a little cord hanging out of her ear from watching. She's listening to the Nationals game. I'm just kidding. And that's Mary Krug. Mary, you're here somewhere, aren't you? Yeah, there you are. Okay. And I understand the game is tied 1-1. Another board member from Charles County is Lois DiNatale is with us today. Thank you, Lois. Also, I'd like to recognize members of our delegation, starting with Sally Jameson, delegate from Charles County, as well as Peter Murphy, also Charles County, and John Wood from St. Mary's in Charles. These are individuals who have been so supportive of this college always. Also supportive has been our commissioners, Candace Quinn Kelly, Commissioner President of Charles County. Thank you, Candace. And thank you also, Ken Robinson, for being here today and for supporting us. Some other individuals, and you know, I always hate to do this because I always miss people. So I apologize if I have. From the Tri-County Council, we have Wayne Clark. Wayne. And from Charles County Public Schools, we have Jasper Wilson with us. From a newcomer who also graduated from my institution, and that's Westchester State College, the new executive director of the Charles County Chamber of Commerce, and that's Betsy Burren, is with us today. And, you know, we talked about student debt. Well, student debt is so important, and it is so, I'm saying our tuition is affordable because of our foundation. And we have with us one of our foundation directors, Rob Price, who's a financial planner. Thank you, Rob. And I think that may be my list. But I do not want to forget our partners in this project. Certainly the funders, all of you are partners. But the people who are going to be designing this, have designed this building and are going to be knocking it down and building it all over again. I don't know if anyone is here from Crim and Parker, but they are our architects, and they've done so many wonderful projects, including BU. From Dustin Cummings Incorporated, we have representatives with us, newfound friends, Todd Cummings, Chris Flaherty, Carl Lamb, and Bob Boyer. Thank you and welcome. Okay. By the way, I should say that this project is running $16 million. Its completion is early spring 2014. Before you know it, it is LEED certified, and at this point we are looking at least silver, and who knows, maybe we'll go up from there. I also want to recognize the person who's done so much in getting this building off the ground, and that is Bill Comey, Vice President for Student and Academic Support Services, who's overseeing the program. Where's Bill? Okay, thank you, Bill, for all that you've done. Okay, well, on with the program. We have with us next our board chair. Joe Slater is an alum of the college, graduated in 1974, but more importantly has always shown the support and what this college has meant to him, whether he's been on the board or not. This is a life that certainly has been changed because of the College of Southern Maryland, and now he's giving back. So, Joe, thank you very much.
Thanks, Brad, very much. And I just want to take a moment to compliment Brad and his senior team and all the structural staff and employees to make this such a wonderful institution that it is. They've maintained a tradition that is just completely transcended the years in growth and quality, and I'm certainly proud to play a small part in that. I also want to recognize my colleagues, as Brad did, Mary Krug, the board chairman just prior to me, who taught me everything I know, and Lois DiNatale, who certainly brings a wonderful breadth of experience and knowledge to our board. And with reference to our vision of transforming lives, the College of Southern Maryland is a game changer for thousands of people in our community every year, from our students to our businesses. This is evidenced by my own story and the difference CSM made in providing the foundation to realize my potential, just as it has for thousands of other graduates who have earned their associate's degrees and gone on to earn bachelor's and master's, and for some doctorates. It was in this building and that building and what used to be the BU building that I came at nights working as a laborer in White Plains on a construction job. After a couple years leaving high school, decided I could do better. It was this institution that gave me that opportunity, and I'll forever hold that as very deep trust. As a CEO for Southern Maryland Electric, I know firsthand the value of training provided through our community education and workforce development. This includes the services and training for our small business owners through the SBDC, and for our larger businesses and organizations seeking ongoing training for their employees through the Corporate Center. CSM serves individuals and businesses that spur economic growth within the region, and through its training help to grow a workforce to exemplify the qualities synonymous with business success. It is an honor and a privilege to be able to return to my first alma mater and with my fellow trustees to serve more than 26,000 credit and continuing education students enrolled at CSM, as well as plan for the future through such growth opportunities as the major renovation and expansion of the career education building. And I'm looking forward to swinging a maul, Brad. As trustees, among our highest priorities is to work with our elected state and county officials, many of which have graced us with their presence today from very busy schedules, to ensure that this college remains affordable and accessible for all. One way to help maintain that affordability is through the many relationships that have resulted in scholarships. with 24 created in just the past year. Of particular significance to me, this new CE building will house facilities for the Criminal Justice Program, where my son's endowment fund will provide scholarships for students studying in that vital curriculum. I want to again thank everybody for joining us today, this very exciting development, and one additional piece of our foundation as we grow as a thriving organization serving this community. Thank you.
Next up is County Commissioner President Candace Quinn Kelly. She needs no introduction, but what I'd like to mention is that this is a person who has always supported this college. Before she was an elected official, and she was a member of our foundation board, has raised money, has given money to the college, and has always been there for us. I think you know that the way this building is funded is 75% comes from the state, thank goodness for being a regional college, and 25% comes from the county, still a large amount of money, as well as supporting the operation of it. So please help me welcome Commissioner President Candace Quinn Kelly.
Well, good afternoon, everyone, and I bring greetings from Commissioner Reuben Collins, Commissioner Ken Robinson, who is here, Commissioner Deborah Davis, and Commissioner Bobby Rucci. And I'll be very brief, but I would like to say that it has been one of my deepest honors and privileges to be of support to this college. And as I stand here and, like Mr. Slater, ready to grab that maul and get some of that aggression out, but most importantly, my delight in this college, although it has become a very traditional college in many respects, is the important opportunity that it provides for continuing education and returning mothers. It was my great honor to have and play a role with our Learning Center here, which is an amazing daycare facility and children's learning center. That's what it's about. We talk a lot on our Board of Commissioners and in this county about the issues or problems that we must face. But this is a real solution. This is an opportunity. When we talk about economic development, it's this sort of building and the kind of programming that follows that makes it possible for us to grow the kind of workforce that will be needed for us to achieve and invite and entice the kind of economic development that we need for our county's future. And so in closing, I too would like to thank our state partners, Delegate Murphy, Delegate Jamison, Delegate Wood, the Senator Middleton, who did I forget, Delegate Wilson. It's this partnership that has been so important in terms of us being able to help the college. And Dr. Godfrey, Board of Trustees, to all of you, the staff, you're remarkable. Your vision never has ceased. You've never lost sight of where it is that you're going, and the service delivery that you've been able to provide and the opportunities that you've been able to give to so many, and particularly to those working mothers with whom I have such a connection. On behalf of our entire board, thank you. Keep up the good work, and please continue to keep us as a Board of Commissioners educated about the needs in the community so we continue to support you. Thank you all.
Okay, I'm going to call up to the podium Delegate Peter Murphy. Peter is no stranger to the college, comes to many of our events, and probably most importantly, one of his daughters was a student at the college, and his precious grandchildren have also been students at the Child Care Center, Children's Learning Center. Peter?
Good afternoon. It's a pleasure to be here again for another event. On behalf of the Charles County delegation, which includes Senators Middleton and Dyson and Delegate Jamison, Delegate Wood, and Delegate Wilson, I'm pleased to make a few remarks. When I was asked to speak today, our office contacted the college and said, can you give me a few talking points? Well, I think everybody got the same talking points. So I really don't have an awful lot to add to this, except the thing that stood out to me was that this was one of the original buildings in 1968, and I thought, geez, that was 1 year after I graduated high school. So it is a really old building, and it is indeed time for a makeover. But one of the things that struck me, two things. One is that, and Brad alluded to this, the fact that the state helped at 75% to fund this. And I think part of that is because the state recognizes how well this region works together and how connected we are, and I think Sally may want to talk to that in a moment. And I look at the flags behind us, and we have all three counties represented, and that makes a difference in Annapolis. People are much more willing to work with us when they see the connection that we have not only with the college but also with our commissioners to be able to make these things come to pass. The other thing that I noticed in terms of the kinds of programs you're going to be offering here, you know, we're all very well aware of the economic downturn and the difficulties and people losing jobs and so forth. But, you know, can be a positive piece to that. And the positive piece that I see to that is it also then creates the opportunity for people to go back for more education. They take a look at their lives and say, what more can I do? And so when I look at what's going to go on in this building, the allied health fields, veterinary technician is one. You know, we don't have a veterinary college in Maryland. And so our students have to compete to get to go into veterinary medicine, must go into other states, and they don't have the same opportunity. So here, this is going to be providing opportunities for folks that want to kind of retool and redirect their careers and their lives. So with that, I just am here on behalf of the Charles County delegation to congratulate you, to thank you very much for staying ahead and creating the space, the people, the vision for our county and for the citizens of our county, and to make it accessible to them. And I promise you, and I don't think I'm going on the limb here, but the entire delegation supports your efforts. We continue to look forward to work with you, Brad, and the college, and with Candace, you and the commissioners and the county government to make sure that this fine institution continues on this incredibly successful path. So thank you very much for having us.
Well, one of our traditions that we have pursued over the past several years has, yes, we have elected officials and board people and vice presidents, but we're here for our students, and we want to hear from our students. And so today I'm very, very proud and pleased to introduce one of our individuals, one of our students who has been with us for several years. His name is Vincent Juarez. He's a 21-year veteran of the Marine Corps, as well as a student in our CSM elementary education program, an area that desperately needs men as role models. I'm just so excited about that. Mr. Juarez is in uniform today because he's reminding us of the sacrifices that he and others have made and continue to make every single day for us. I've been asked, and Michelle Goodwin probably has written this, we're also in the midst of our CSM Heroes campaign to honor those who served in the military and also who are becoming first responders, working in firefighting, etc. What's interesting is, and Mr. Juarez is really a good example of this, 1 out of every 19 of our students is a veteran. And last year, we served almost 900 veterans at this college. We're the 3rd largest enrollment of all the colleges, 4-year and 2-year at the College of Southern Maryland in the state of Maryland. So this is a program that supports these individuals because they mean so much to us. And Mr. Juarez is a great example of what our students mean to us and what we mean to them. And so without further ado, Mr. Vincent Juarez.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests. Again, I just want to say a few words regarding my experience here at the college. I can honestly say it's been a very pleasant experience. I started here a few years ago, and as the president mentioned, I'm trying to pursue my degree in elementary education, hoping to make a difference with a lot of young males today. I've been fortunate enough, again, to travel around the world and seen firsthand many of the problems that a lot of these other countries are dealing with, which is one of the reasons why I want to try to pursue my degree in elementary education, making a difference here with the kids. And I honestly believe that CSM has given me that foothold to do so. In particular, I'd like to thank not just the faculty and staff in general. One of my professors, Professor McCassin, I don't believe she's out here today, but she's been very instrumental in helping me pursue my degree, along with my academic advisor, Mr. Bill Rollins. I don't know if he's out here as well, but in particular, those two people have helped me a great deal since I've been here at the college. Again, the convenience of coming here to CSM has been vital, to say the least. I live in Accokeek, but it's close enough that I can come here and still watch my children and pursue my degree and do what is needed to finish my degree and hopefully transfer to Towson next year is my intent. All in all, CSM, I can't thank CSM enough for the privilege and opportunities it's provided me. Again, I just want to thank everybody here today, and again, this has just been a great opportunity overall. Thank you.
Thank you, Vincent. Really an inspiration. Vincent's going to be leaving in a little bit to pick up his two boys to make sure they're safe. Great role model. Not on our program, but someone I want to call up, put on the spot, if you don't mind. Sally Jamison, we all know, delegate, but also head of the Southern Maryland delegation. If you don't mind coming up and saying a few words, we'd appreciate that, Sally.
Well, thank you, Brad. It's always a great day when you have an event like this that you can participate in. I'd just like to say that the entire Southern Maryland delegation is very pleased that we are able to help in Annapolis when it comes to getting funding and things like that for the colleges, the College of Southern Maryland. You know, this particular building is one that is very important to us right now. The economy is changing, business is changing, new skills are needed, and I think this building will be a tremendous asset to not only employees in Southern Maryland, but to the employers of Southern Maryland. So I'm looking forward to it, and I think that we should all be proud of what has occurred here at the College of Southern Maryland to date. We know that good things will continue to happen, and the Southern Maryland delegation is proud to be able to be part of it. So thank you.
Well, you may have seen what this building will house. It's going to have specialized facilities for allied health, veterinarian technician, criminal justice, geography. It's going to be home for many of our faculty, specifically in the social sciences, human services, and teacher education division, and most of our continuing education workforce. And those programs will come over as well, including our Maryland Center for Environmental Training, which is known throughout the world, allied health, etc. And so I'm excited about this building. I know Bill Comey, I don't know how excited you are. It's been a challenge. But someone who's really excited about this is Dr. Dan Mosser, who is our Vice President for Continuing Education and Workforce Development, because this new revised building will mean the opportunity to expand and provide the kinds of services, the kinds of programs that we've only been dreaming about, but we know that the community really wants and needs. And so I'm going to introduce Dr. Dan Mosser.
Good afternoon. I'd like to share, we are excited about this building. I want to share a little story with you. This morning I was in a staff meeting, and a CSM employee leaned over to me and said, "You must really be excited today, huh?" I said, "Well, why?" And he said, "Well, the groundbreaking for the new continuing education building, CE building." And I thought to myself, you know, I'll probably never have enough money to put my name on one of these buildings. Would it really do any harm if just one staff person thought it was my building? We are excited about this building. This building will become home base for many units of the Continuing Education Workforce Development Division, including the Small Business and Technology Development Center, Allied Health, Transportation, and the college's Maryland Center for Environmental Training, or MCET. In this new building, we will offer a variety of state-of-the-art workforce training, courses, and programs, and I'd like to share with you just a few remarks about a couple of them. The first one. The division stays on the cutting edge across a wide array of topics. One example is our recent efforts working with a new cybersecurity advisory board to address the growing workforce need for information assurance training and the many professional certifications required for careers in emerging cyber technologies. The result is a variety of new cybersecurity training courses and certifications being offered here this fall that will enable cyber professionals who live and work in Calvert, Charles, and St. Mary's counties to stay close to home, attend CSM while maintaining or advancing their professional credentials. 3 new computer labs will be housed here, including space for the rapidly growing cybersecurity programs. The second organization, the Small Business and Technology Development Center, will be located here in the new CE building. Just last week, the SBTDC co-sponsored and hosted Startup Maryland Business Pitch Competition with a day-long bus tour of all 3 CSM campuses. It was part of a nationwide initiative to help celebrate entrepreneurship and to bring attention to diverse businesses and innovative product ideas right here in Southern Maryland. To help our entrepreneurs pitch their products and services, the Startup Tour Bus was equipped with a recording studio and technical services to enable these business owners to videotape their pitches. These videos have been entered into a statewide competition to bring exposure and potential angel investors to their businesses. The SBTDC serves several hundred local businesses each year at satellite locations in the Plata, Prince Frederick, and our Leonardtown campuses. A new office suite for SBTDC staff is just months away. And finally, celebrating over 30 years, MCET, the Maryland Center for Environmental Training, has established a reputation for excellence in environmental safety and health training and compliance assistance through practical applications. MCET traces its roots to 1968, when Belva Jensen, the head of the college's biology department, with a number of CSM students, undertook a 3,500-mile trek by water to retrace the Lewis and Clark expedition through the Northwest, with the purpose of sampling the once pure waters traveled by Lewis and Clark and to develop an index of current pollution levels. This research helped prepare instructional materials for a new curriculum in water pollution abatement technology that would be offered at the college and laid the foundation for what would become MCET, beginning in the fall of 1969. It seems fitting, as we mark today's groundbreaking for this new CE building that will house MCET staff and programs, that this building be LEED certified. With this new facility and the people and programs who will make it great, many exciting courses, programs, events, opportunities, and experiences lie just ahead. On behalf of those who will work and learn here, I want to thank all of you for joining us here today for the groundbreaking ceremony and for your interest in and support for this facility. Thank you.
Well, we're going to have another party in about a year and a half when we cut the ribbon, but today we celebrate a very special time, and I get in trouble for saying this. I have a special pet word for this building. Can I mention it? The pit. And so we won't have a pit on this campus. We'll have a campus with many beautiful buildings, highly functional buildings that our students deserve, that our faculty and staff need to really change lives in Charles County and in Southern Maryland. So I want to thank all of you for being here to celebrate, because this is not our college, the employees and staff, it is your college. And I want to thank you for being here today.